Good afternoon and welcome to John F. Kennedy High School. We have the Sage Standout Game of the Week. It's Fort Hamilton. It's JFK. It's your guy, Andre, on the call with you. Hopefully, most of you guys were able to enjoy the Eagle Brooklyn versus Erasmus Hall game. Sorry, just had to do a quick sound check. So I sound all right. So, welcome to John F. Kennedy High School. We're ready to go here. It's the Kennedy homecoming. So let's welcome in the Knights. Oh, they got the smoke and everything. We also have a live band. We have a live band right in front of us, so I'm sure you guys are going to hear some tunes throughout the day. Let me know how the volume sounds. Of course, it's a members-only live stream today. So everyone in the chat, really appreciate you guys for supporting everything we got going on here at Sage Media. You guys are what are the core, and you guys are allow us to keep doing what we're doing. And here come the Knights on their homecoming. So shout out to Derek Betances with the backflip. And that's a great segue to talk about our players to watch. And it's number 5, the young sophomore quarterback, Jeremiah Sinat. And, of course, we all should know him, one of the best running backs in New York City, number 8, Derek Betances. Jeremiah Sinat, it's his sophomore year now. It's going to be so important for him to really grow into the role. Last week against Eagle Academy, I saw Jeremiah lining up in some shotgun. He actually threw a shotgun, a nice pass. Pretty sure that was to Mr. Buford in the end zone. So I really like to see how the JFK offense evolves with Jeremiah, an able thrower, in at the helm. And, you know, if you guys listen to the podcast, if you follow all the things Sage Media Solutions, you know what I value. I value balance in your offense. And if JFK are going to make a run to get to that magic number, the 4 wins, is going to be important for their quarterback, Jeremiah Sinat, to grow into the role and become more of a passer. And then, of course, we all should know number 8, Derek Betances. He was nominated for our All-City list last year. One of the fastest players in the PSAL. He is one of the most experienced players on JFK, of course. Pretty sure he's been on the varsity probably since he was a freshman. So Derek Betances is our ones to watch. You know, you got to watch him on that veer counter that they love to do, or veer sweep, whatever they call it. And he's excellent. If you don't have an angle on him, you might as well call it 6. And for Fort Hamilton, it's all about number 5, Aiden Porter. So we have a battle of number 5s, a battle of young quarterbacks. Aiden Porter is going to be so important for him to have this be his coming out party. It's Friday night, under the lights, up against a team that's celebrating their homecoming. Can you become one of the breakout players in the PSAL? I think he has the ability. If you guys listened before the season, I said Aiden Porter is definitely a player to watch, and this was the game that I marked on the calendar for Aiden to really become into his own. And usually when I pick out pictures, I try to get only one player, a solo shot of them, but I think this one is perfect, honestly. Number 74, Mr. Puka, came over from Bishop Gorman. If you guys aren't familiar with Bishop Gorman, that is one of the top programs in all of the country out in Las Vegas, Nevada. He transferred in to Fort Hamilton, And it's going to be all about how he can protect his guy, Aiden Porter, because he is going to need time today. The JFK defense, they have a solid defensive line, and they like to bring pressure. So can Mr. Puka give Aiden Porter enough time to operate? So as you can see, the captains are out. Joshua Caldoa, number 0. Derek Betances, number 8, just spoke on him. Hamadou Faseru, another one of their great backs, number 4. And Josiah Buford, he's their deep threat. And captains for Fort Hamilton, you have number 5, of course, Aiden Porter. Number 57, Michael Alvarez. And number 6, Thomas O'Neill. Another player I really want to highlight for the Tigers of Fort Hamilton is number 7, Emmanuel King III. He is pretty much their number 1 option on offense. He is the most dangerous player, so he needs to be able to produce today. Make sure you guys are active in the chat. Make sure you use your emojis, and make sure you guys share out the stream. Of course, it's a members-only stream, so it's an exclusive club today. So as you guys are going to see soon, to the left of our camera, unfortunately, JFK have a scaffolding right at the 50-yard line. I spoke to them about it. They're going to have the scaffolding there. There's not much we can do about it. So looks like JFK will be receiving the ball first. It is the JFK homecoming. Okay, introducing our partner for today's stream, which is this scaffolding. Like I said, is my apologies. I definitely spoke to them about – actually, excuse me, JFK, a Bronx councilman is here. All right, thank you to the councilman for having a few words. Hopefully that came through the microphone. So JFK will be getting the ball first. Back deep, Derek Betances, man. He returned a kick against Eagle Academy for a touchdown last week. It'd be it'd be a questionable decision if they kicked it to him. And one of my favorite players in the PSAL, number 3, Emmanuel Hernandez. It's the Sage Standout Game of the Week. It's the Tigers versus the Knights. Let's get this game going. It's taking nice lane for number 15. He's still on his feet into Tiger territory. Great return from number 15, the junior, Jason Reed. Nice to see our new members in the chat, Brendan Farley and Erica Murray. Make sure you guys use your emojis. And I saw that you guys joined just today. So I appreciate you guys for joining. So it's going to be a 1st and 10. They have the chains in the wrong direction. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Knights, and they're going to be on the 45-yard line. So it's just going to be a timeout, an official timeout, as they get the chains situated. Love the energy early in this homecoming. As you see the helm, Jeremiah Sanat. He's looking to throws it right, and it is caught Up the right sideline, still on his feet. That's Mr. Buford. First down, Knights. First play of the game, running a nice little hitch route to Josiah Buford. So already into the red zone after one play. They're on the 18-yard line. Nice hitch route, and that's what I love to see from this JFK offense. I love to see them being aggressive on first down, throwing the ball, and that's going to open up the lanes for the run game. Number 34 today is Amadou Samake. It's a 1st and 10 for the Knights. Amadou is behind him. They're going to hand it right to Amadou. He's up the left. Great job on the dive. And something I said on the podcast on Monday, I'm going to reference that a lot, and I'm going to, link you guys to the podcast every Monday, 7:15. I love this player, Amadou Samake, and the main reason why I like him is because of his profile. Usually the Knights are used to having, a more muscular, kind of brawler kind of running back in at that fullback position. I think this offense is better suited with a more athletic, dynamic runner. So it's second down to be 2nd and about 5. Ball is just outside the 10. Let's call it the 11. Sensamake in motion. Empty backfield. I saw a false start there, and there will be a flag. So it's going to be a false start. That's going to bring it back to a 2nd and 10. Again, really appreciate the members for joining in the stream. Even myself, I'm still getting used to the member-only streams. I can't see how many people are in here right now. Really appreciate you guys for watching and supporting Sage Media. Not only supporting Sage Media, but supporting the young men. So it's 2nd and 10. Sends a man in motion. Jeremiah hands it up to the up back. That's Mr. Amadou. And forgive me if I'm a little slow on calling Amadou's name. I'm used to him being number 9. He's number 9 every week, but this week he's number 34. So I might be a little slow calling out Mr. Samake. That's going to be a nice gain. So it's going to be, let's call that a 3rd and 3. Jeremiah hands it off. So this time it's to Manny. And Manny should have enough for the first down. Yes, he does. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Knights. Looks like the ball's on about the 5-yard line. That was Emmanuel Hernandez, the fullback that time. Amadou shifting formation again. Amadou behind Mr. Sanat. This time they're going to hand it off to the winger, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, JFK. Hamidou Faseru gets on the board for the Knights. So aside from the penalty, it was a perfect drive for the Knights. Handed off to Hamidou Faseru for the first time on that sweep. And he walks in untouched into the end zone. And they are going to go for 2 here. Jeremiah in shotgun, sending Nino in motion. Looks right. Throws it in the middle, off the hands of Mr. Buford. So our score is going to remain 6-0 Knights. So let's go to the replay. It's just a typical sweep, and it's just executed perfect. I mean, how many times during practice do you think JFK under Coach Vega run this sweep? These players could easily do that sweep with their eyes closed. Easy touchdown. First score of the day for Mr. Faseru. JFK always comes out with that potential quick squib kick or onside kick early in his homecoming. 6-0 lead, and they're going to kick it deep. Taken, has a nice little lane up the left, still on his feet. That's a good tackle by Emmanuel Hernandez. That was Zaire Thomas for the Tigers. So it's going to be a 1st and 10. 4-4 Hamilton. And at the helm, of course, is going to be Mr. Aiden Porter. Again, forgive us with the scaffolding. Not much we can do about that. So it's a 1st and 10. And it looks like there was a penalty. I didn't see the flag. And again, the clock on the screen is not the official clock. We're kind of guesstimating because there is no clock on the scoreboard. So unfortunately, your guess is as good as mine. We're going to try our best to keep the clock, somewhat synced up. We're letting it bleed down to, I think it's at about 9 minutes right now. So we're going to bleed it down to 9 minutes. So it looks like after the penalty, it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Fort Hamilton. They're going to come out trips to the bottom of your screen. Tight end to the left. Mr. Porter takes the snap, fakes it, going to throw it to a quick wide receiver screen, and that's going to be incomplete. Dropped by Zaire Thomas. So 2nd and 10. So again, we're just bleeding the clock down. Should be about 9 minutes left in this first quarter. Going to line up in the same formation. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Emmanuel King III in the backfield with Aiden. Going to send a blitz, but Emmanuel gets away from the blitz, but he can't get away from the gang of Knights that limit that to only a gain of about 1. So let's call it a 3rd and 9. Oh, excuse me. Actually, no, it was a gain of 5 there. So 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Porter looks, flushes out, can throw it off his back foot, almost intercepted. Again, we're doing our best with the scaffolding right in front of us. So it's going to be 4th and 5. Drops the snap, gets the punt off. It's a pretty good punt, but it goes right out of bounds, probably close to midfield. So, not the ideal start for the Tigers. You go 3 and out. You give the Knights good field position again. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights. Ball is actually at the Tiger 45-yard line. Takes the snap. Hands it off to the up back. That's for Saru again. He has a huge lane up the left sideline. 10-5, touchdown, Knights. Touchdown number 2 for Hamidou Fasaru. One play, 45-yard touchdown. This is exactly how the Knights wanted to start their homecoming. And they will be going for 2. Jeremiah takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to the up back, and the 2-point conversion is good. That was Amadou Samake getting in for the 2-point conversion. So our score is 14-0 Knights. So again, it's all about that sweep. No, it was a double handoff, excuse me. Derek Matanzas hands it off to Hamidou Fasaru. Great block on the outside there, but number 2, Josiah Buford. And Hamidou Fasaru does the rest for his 2nd touchdown on the day. So 2 possessions, 2 scores for the JFK Knights. And they're going to kick it deep. Jair Thomas had a good return last time, but not this time. Great job, number 6, Avery Reed, big hit. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball's on about the 25-yard line. So again, on the road, down 2 scores. Young Aiden Porter's got to grow up quickly here. Twins to the bottom of the screen. Aiden takes the snap, hands it off to Emmanuel King. What a great job getting a hand in there by number 19, Mr. Eze. I thought Emmanuel King was going to sneak out of there for a bigger gain. But it's only going to be about a gain of 4, so that's going to be 2nd and 6. Setting a man in motion. Aiden's going to take it himself on the QB power. Has a nice lane up the right sideline. He's still going. Mr. Porter, that's the most positive play of the day. Close to midfield for the Tigers. 1st and 10. There is a flag on the field. My guy Nappy in the chat. Thank you for letting me know. Lincoln up 14-0. They're playing DeWitt Clinton. Nappy, let me know, what did the Eagle game, what was the final score of the Eagle game? Eagle Erasmus Hall. Still waiting for the penalty, but I see the Tigers moving backwards, unfortunately. So they might erase their most positive play of the day. So it's a personal foul. All right, so it's offsetting penalties. Offsetting penalties, I don't think they should redo the first. Yes, okay, so it's 1st and 10 after the offsetting penalties. I saw the Tigers moving backwards. I was kind of confused for a minute. So again, for people coming in, yes, the scaffolding is right in our view. Spoke to them about it. Couldn't do much about it. Unfortunately, they could not move the scaffolding. So I think someone has a uniform issue. Not sure what the holdup in the action is now. The referee is still on the Fort Hamilton sideline. It's coming back into the middle of the field. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Ball's on about the 35-yard line. Hands off to Emmanuel King. This time has a nice lane up the right, and he's still going. Nothing but green in front of him. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Tigers, as they answer back. Emmanuel King, 65-yard touchdown. What a way to answer back. The Tigers showing a lot of character there. So we do have time on the scoreboard. The scoreboard says 2:10, so we'll adjust it to 2:10. Two-point conversion. Aiden looks left, throws left, and can they get in? That's a great tackle. Looked like that was the freshman, number 7, Elias Medina. Good job from the freshman on the tackle. Our score is going to remain 14-6. 14-6 Knights. As we have a shirt toss going on here. And we'll go to the replay right after. Right after the kickoff. Emmanuel King with about a 65-yard touchdown. Guys in the chat, make sure you use your emojis. If you're rooting for the Tigers, there's a tiger emoji. If you're rooting for JFK, there's a JFK emoji. It's a members only, exclusive. It's a squib kick, and it's handled very well by the Knights. So let's go to that replay. And it's just a great job by the right side of that line. I mean, Emmanuel King is barely touched, and you see the speed. Like I said earlier in this game, he was one of the players I wanted to highlight as well. Emmanuel King is probably their most dangerous weapon on offense. And you see why there. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Knights. Hands it off to Mr. Betances. He goes up the right on that classic sweep, still on his feet. He has more room. That's a gain of about 15, but there is a flag on the play. There's going to be a holding on the Knights. Since we're ahead, you just let that clock catch up to us. So don't start it until. So again, that is one of JFK's most dangerous plays. They've already scored twice off it. Call that veer sweep. Handing it off to one of the wing backs. But this time, Mr. Betances is in the backfield. 1st and 9. Ball's on the ground, but Manny Hernandez is able to jump on it, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be a 2nd and 9. Catastrophe averted for the Knights. Second and 9. Changing up the formation. And they're going to hand it off to Derek Betances up the right sideline. That's what he does best. Makes a man miss. Still on his feet. And that's going to be a touchdown. But there is a flag, unfortunately. No, so they're saying no flag on the play, so that will be a touchdown. Yeah, is that on your game for sport mode, please? Thank you. So there was a bit of drama there. And he's clearly a crowd favorite, Derek Betances, the senior. So they threw a flag, but then they picked up the flag. So 2 touchdowns for Hamidou Fasaru, 1 touchdown for Derek Betances, the highlight player. Going for 2. There's a flag on the play. If anyone are fans of European soccer, did not feel like, they did a VAR check and they disallowed the score. Like, you celebrate the goal, but then they go back and they chop it off. That's really what it felt like just now. If you know, you know. Let me know if any of the members are into European soccer, because that's definitely what that felt like just now. But they checked the VAR, and it was still a touchdown. Jeremiah Snat could have flipped it to Mr. Fasaru, and the 2-point conversion is good. Our score is 22-6 JFK. And it looks like it could be the end of the first quarter there. We will confirm, but let's go take a look at this 53-yard touchdown from Derek Betances. They flip over the formation. I love how they flip the formation, but they still have the wing back on the left. So everyone's focus goes to the two men in motion. But then Derek Betances is still there, and he's just going to take it up the right sideline, and he barely has to make a move until he's 15 yards up the field. And, you know, Derek Betances, one thing that was so underrated about him, we know about his speed, but his vision is excellent as he gets into the end zone for his first score on the day. So that was the end of the first quarter. So our score is 22-6 Knights. Getting ready to kick it off behind the scaffolding. Sends it deep. That's the number 13. Picks it up. He's going to take it now up the right. Has a bit of a hole. He has a lane. Does he have the foot speed? No. Good job from number 14, Tristan Yepes, pushing him out of bounds. That could have been dangerous. That was Andres Flores for the Tigers. 1st and 10. So 3 possessions for the Knights offense, 3 scores. Nappy, thank you. So that game just went final, 52-32. Erasmus Hall with a big statement win over Eagle Academy. So flipping the formation here. Tigers down 2 scores. Hands it off to Emmanuel King. Has another big hole up the middle. Still on his feet. Emmanuel King rips off about a gain of 20. Again, apologize for the scaffolding. I'm going to try to be more diligent of changing the camera between. But that's a big run. Emmanuel King might be close to 100 yards. It looks like there was a timeout. Did not see who had the timeout. But I just want to give a huge shout out to Lincoln Jacobs, better known as Shot by LJ. LJ is a 32-year-old photographer and videographer with over 15 years of experience capturing powerful visuals. Known for his sharp eye and creative direction, he brings stories to life through film and photography. From sports media to creative campaigns, LJ blends skill and passion to deliver high-quality content that resonates. To reach him, please contact him on his Instagram as you see on the screen. LJ makes all of the graphics for Sage Media. So thank you, LJ, for all your support. So it's going to be a 1st and 10, Tigers in Knight territory. Emmanuel King living up to the billing. I'm going to stay on this camera because of the scaffolding. Hands it off to Emmanuel King, and that's a great job. Goes down right away. That's number 33 for JFK on the tackle, Mr. Ahmed. That's gonna be a loss. So it's gonna be about a 2nd and 12. I'm gonna explain it to you. So it's the 2nd and 12. So, again, we're trying to work with the scaffolding here. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout for Fort Hamilton. So, again, you know, Emmanuel King doing a great job trying to keep the Tigers above water. You have a JFK team that gave up 59 points to Eagle Academy last year. So, they're still trying to get things solidified on their defense. But one thing we know about the John F. Kennedy offense is that they're going to be able to put points on the board, and they're going to be able to put points on the board quickly. Already have 2 long touchdowns from their star men, Hamadou Faseru and Derek Betances. Nappy, really appreciate the updates in the chat. Lincoln 28-0 over DeWitt Clinton. Nappy, let me know if you can get any of the scores from Staten Island. I think Curtis and Newdorp are playing each other right now. Appreciate everyone supporting this members only exclusive live stream. The first of hopefully 2 or 3 in the month of October. Again, on this camera because of the scaffolding. Aiden looking to throw. He's going to throw it deep. And it is caught. And that is going to be just short of a touchdown. Numbers 26, Ajani Carew Robinson from his man, Aiden Porter. Biggest passing play of the day. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Tigers. First and goal from about the 2-yard line. This definitely seems like Mr. Emmanuel King territory. And that's Mr. Puka on the false start, going to make it a 1st and goal from probably the 8-yard line. That could prove to be a pretty crucial penalty there. Blur is correct. That was a great job. I have the replay queued up. Ajani Carew Robinson. So it's a 1st and goal from about the 8-yard line. The Tigers are going to have to work a bit harder to get into the end zone here. Aiden sends a man in motion. He's going to run a QB power to the left. Tries to reverse fields. Going to have to try to make something happen. He's just going to slide down. So it's going to be a 2nd and goal. Ball's on the 12-yard line now. 28-0 Curtis over Newdorp. Thank you for the update. Wait, is that in the first? That's in the first half. It must be, right? Because our game's only in the first half. Well, I guess Lincoln's up 28-0 in the first half as well. So, the Big Four laying down the yard marker this week. Rasmus Hall, Curtis, Lincoln. If someone can get the Tottenville score, let me know. I'm not sure who Tottenville's playing this week. So 2nd and goal. Aiden looking to throw. Throws it, and it should have been caught. He made a great play on the long throw. Can't reel it in there. Yep, I was just waiting for the call for him to turn. That was Ajani Carew Robinson. He's going to want that back. So 3rd and goal for the Knights. Again, they had it down to the 2-yard line. A false start penalty is what kind of started all of the craziness here. Ajani has to get subbed out. Adam Neves comes into the game, number 11. A crucial 3rd down here for the Tigers. 3rd and goal. Going to take it, rolls right. He's going to have to let it go. He's going to try to take it himself. The agent's going to have to scamper out of bounds. 4th and goal for the Tigers. First quarter, all these games, wow. So the Tigers still on the field. 4th and goal from about the 12-yard line. Huge play here for the Tigers. Huge play here for the Knights. Can the Tigers get into the end zone here to get some momentum? Sends a man in motion. Aiden looks right, throws it right. And that is a great pass breakup from number 11, Alex Mel Cruz. And I'll be honest, it should have been caught. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button there. Trying to go to the replay. And if you look at the top of your screen, Mr. Cruz gets a hand in there to make sure number 1, Zaire Thomas, can't get the ball. He bobbled it, but that's a great job from Mr. Cruz there. How big will that play prove to be? It's 1st and 10. And they're going to throw it down the field deep, and that's Mr. Buford. No one in front of him. Touchdown, JFK. That's about an 85, 87-yard touchdown. Jeremiah Sanat to Josiah Buford. So they always tell you in sports, after a big turnover, strike quickly. Going for 2, and they get it. So our score is 30-6. Knights. Just got a complete domination so far. And let's go to the big play. Jeremiah Sanat fakes the sweep, and they sneak Mr. Buford, one of the fastest players in this whole league. And it's just a beautiful pitch and catch. He could have put the deuces up at midfield. Josiah Buford. I mean, that's exactly what you want on homecoming, man. Running wide open for the touchdown. And just a huge shout out to Jeremiah Sanat, because that throw was beautiful. Buford was lined up in the slot, and he just ran a slant and go. And like you said, after a big turnover, that's a great chance to strike quickly. That's exactly what the Knights did, extending their lead. He has to field that. Good coverage. And the Tigers are going to have bad field position inside the 8-yard line. And I just want to, again, highlight the Tigers, after the long pass from Aiden Porter to Ajani, had the ball 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. A false start penalty, and then boom, this game is flipped on its head. They end up turning the ball over on downs, and then 20 seconds later, it's a touchdown for the Knights. You know, this is high-level football in the 4A. Teams will make you pay if you're not able to execute. 1st and 10 here. Aiden looking to throw from his own end zone. Could have thrown the screen. Emmanuel King has a lot of room in front of him. Makes the man miss. Still up the right sideline. Emmanuel King has the foot speed, and he's going to go out at about the 35-yard line. Emmanuel King isn't ready to quit. So about 5 minutes on the clock. We're adjusting that. 30-6 Knights. Again, shout out to all of our members. And it looks like there was a penalty on the Knights, so you had about let's call it a 35-yard gain, and now the Tigers are in Knights territory. Well, let's call it just outside of Knights territory as they're on their own 49-yard line. So they snapped that ball from the 8-yard line. Gained 41 yards in one play. Hands it off to the hot hand. Still running. Got lost in the traffic there. Emmanuel King, well over 100 all-purpose yards on the day. Another first down for the Tigers. And it looks like it will be the 4-minute warnings, and we're going to bleed it down to 4 minutes. It would be great for the Tigers if they can get on the board before halftime. Looking to throw. Aiden, he's going to run it. Has a bit of room up the left sideline. Good job from Aiden Porter. And there is an injured player. Anytime there's an injured player, we like to take the camera off him. But it looks like he is on the Kennedy sideline. That looks like number 6, Avery Reed, the sophomore. So let's stop the clock. As like I said, there is an injured player. So I think they just want to stop the game to make sure he's doing okay, even though he's on the sideline. So another action-packed day of football, another action-packed day on Sage Media Solutions. And just a reminder, we're giving out $1,000 in our Sage Standout Student Section Scholarship. $1,000 to the best student section so far. And honestly, right now, you know, JFK, they're getting their chances. They're homecoming. I would say it's between Curtis and Tottenville right now. But there's some big games coming up. We got to go to the Floss in South Shore. We got to go to Sid Luckman for E. Hall and Curtis. So a lot of teams still have their chance to win the $1,000 scholarship. And, of course, make sure you're with us on Monday to break down all of the action on the New York Football Podcast with myself, Andre Johnson, E, better known as TYJ, and Jared Veluzzi, Uzi Sports, Newsday. Make sure you guys tap in with us, 7:15 on Monday. So it's a 1st and 10. Aiden Porter is going to hand it off to Emmanuel King. Up the left sideline. Has a nice gain again. Emmanuel King is just having an excellent first half despite the scoreline. It's gonna be a 2nd and 3, a 7-yard gain. Ball is in the red zone on about the 19-yard line. High snap, hands it off to number 0. He's going to be able to punch it in. That's Jaden Pagan. And that's going to be a first down Tigers. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Aiden still in shotgun, 2 to the top of your screen. Bringing pressure, hands it off. Great play call. Mr. Pagan is going to muscle weight room into the end zone for a touchdown for the Tigers. Jaden Pagan. Great job from the Tigers. Even though they gave up the long touchdown, still fighting. And with a 2-point conversion, they will only be down 2 scores. But let me tell you something. This John F. Kennedy team, they don't need 3 minutes and 30 seconds to score. They do not need 3 minutes and 30 seconds to score. They can score in 6 seconds. So let's see if the Tigers can punch it in here. Aiden looking left. He's going to toss it. Mr. King could have tried to stretch, but that's a great job from the Knights defense. And that's going to be big because now it's still a 3-score game. Our score is 30-12. Fort Hamilton down. Like I covered it up there. I was about to say Fort Hamilton was winning, but I said Fort Hamilton down. Knights still up. That drive was really all about Emmanuel King, man. Mr. Jaden Pagan, number 0, was able to cash out, but I've been so impressed with Emmanuel King. Even from last year when he was the secondary option, he was an extremely, extremely dangerous player. And it's going to be a great – these are the kind of plays that go so underrated. Number 23, Mr. Usman Mendoza does a great job staying aware and collecting that onside kick. And now, like I said, the Knights don't need a minute and 59 seconds to score. I mean, the Knights can score. They might be able to get a stop and get the ball back and score again. So the Tigers got to be careful here. Knights are ready with 30 first-half points, matching what they did last week against Eagle Academy. If I could guess, this is going to be a sweep to the right to Derek Matanzas. Let's see if I'm right. Sends him in motion. They're actually going to throw. No, Jeremiah's going to call his own number. He's going to go on the other side of the field. Mr. Sanat makes something out of nothing there. That's a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Good decision-making from Jeremiah Sanat. As the clock is still going. Second and 1 for the Knights. Setting a man in motion. They're going to be looking to throw. They have a man. There's a flag on the play, unfortunately. So on that play there, this is where Mr. Sonat has to evolve, you know. There were players open down the field. I know there's some heat in front of you, but as the quarterback, you got to make sure you keep your eyes down the field and deliver to your guys. And that's going to be a very negative play. So stop the clock. So that's going to be a very negative play. You know, you go from probably should have been a touchdown if you kept your eyes down the field to it's going to be after the holding penalty, it's probably going to be a second and 11. My guy Nappy, appreciate you. Lincoln up 40-0 at halftime. Curtis 35-0 at. Yo, we gotta get Nappy on the payroll. What you think? What you think, Dre? We gotta get Nappy on the payroll, man. Hands it off up the middle, and that's a big lane. That's Mr. Manny Hernandez. Touchdown, JFK. They figured, all right, you know, we tried it with the passing game. Let's get back to what we do the best. Hands it off, quick dive to Manny, and that's going to be the 5th touchdown of the first half for the Knights. Looking to throw. 2-point conversion is good. Jeremiah Sinmat to Hamidou Faseru. And that will be the end of the first half. Before we go to halftime, let's just watch. They send the man in motion. Everyone's looking at Derek Betances. No one is looking at Emmanuel Hernandez as he takes it about 45 yards into the end zone. Kissing to the cheerleader. Let's see, homecoming. That's what you got to do. I'm familiar with your game, young brother. Our score at half is 38-12 as my guy Nappy's pleading to be on the payroll. You might have to DM me, my guy, because you putting in too much work. So this is Andre Johnson on the call for the Sage Standout Game of the Week. We'll be back on the other side of halftime. All right, just wanted to do a quick sound check, and we are back for the second half action of the Sage Standout Game of the Week. Our score is 38-12, JFK. Number 2, Josiah Buford. He caught a long pass from Jeremiah Sanat. Hamadou Faseru with 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Hernandez with a touchdown. And, of course, Derek Betances with a touchdown himself. And for Fort Hamilton, it's been all about number 7, Emmanuel King III. Well over 100 all-purpose yards. And then Jaden Pagan was able to punch it in as well. But it's been, like I said, it's been all about the Knights' 5 first-half touchdowns. They had 30 points in the first half last week. They had 38 in the first half this week. And, you know, I didn't even talk about the playoff picture. You know, this is a very, very important game for both teams. I'm not going to call it an elimination game. You know, JFK coming in at 0-3 in the league. Fort Hamilton coming in at 1-2. But, you know, it's going to be tough to make the playoffs if you can't get to that 4-win marker. So let's see if the Tigers can make their way back into this game and to spoil the Knights' homecoming. And we're ready for second half action in the Sage Standout Game of the Week. Members only this time around. And great coverage from the Knights to start off the second half. So it's going to be a 1st and 10. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for Fort Hamilton. So here we go with the Tigers, led by Aiden Porter. Sends a man in motion. Aiden hands off to Emmanuel King. He had a big half, and he's going to keep it going. No, that's going to be a solid tackle by number 33, Mr. Ahmed. So 2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Hands it off to Emmanuel King again. Another great job from the middle of this Knights defense. This time it was number 16, Adam Okor. Oh. So it's going to be a 3rd and 7. We have 13 people watching. Really appreciate everyone as we're growing this members-only community. And there's going to be more games to come. There are going to be some big games behind this membership, so it's going to be worth it. Aiden Porter looking to throw. He's going to pull it down. Rushes to the right. They're going to let it go, and it's incomplete. Tried a toe tapping catch was attempted from, looks like that was number 8, Kevin Lynn. So it's 4th and 7. And the offense is still on the field. Let's actually call it 4th and 5. Yeah, perfect. No, you don't start it until the ball is actually snapped. No, so they are going to punt. So I guess Aiden is the punter as well. I didn't realize that. It's a good punt. They let it go. And it's going to take a tiger roll all the way down to the 24-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Is there a flag on the play? What was that whistle for? So all right, so that flag was just a sideline warning. So it's the 1st and 10, and the red hot Kennedy offense is back on the field. So do they have to take the penalty? Let's see. So it's a personal foul. No, it's a personal foul on JFK, actually. I thought it was just a sideline warning. I missed what the penalty actually was. That's going to bring JFK all the way back to the let's call that the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Knights. Everyone's gotten on the scoreboard. I had to go talk to them and say, yo, we can't give out so many shirts, man. I'm running low on shirts. Jeremiah going to hand it off. Still on his feet. That's a good tackle on the edge there by Tristan Yeppe. By Sean Tannehill. Number 14 on Fort Hamilton. 2nd down, no gain there. 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Changing the formation. The last time they did this, they ran the sweep in that direction, and that's the same thing they do. That's Derek Betances up the right sideline. Might as well throw the deuces up now. Touchdown, JFK. I like that a lot. Mr. Look at the back of my jersey is hilarious. As here comes the light show. Mr. Derek Betances, 2nd touchdown on the day. You can call that one a 90-yard touchdown. Hands it off. Are they in? No, they are not in. So our score will remain 44-12. John F. Kennedy after the 90-yard touchdown from Derek Betances. There's a reason why we had him as a player to watch. And just a reminder, guys, after tonight, we're going to be finished with the left side of the Sage Standout Game of the Week schedule. We're halfway through it. I cannot believe it. It is October. So in 2 weeks, we take a break from the Sage Standout Game of the Week next week because it is a bye week for the 4A. So in 2 weeks, we pick it back up with Tottenville versus Lincoln. And right now, as of now, I'm planning on that game being members only. So you guys, of course, you guys are the members, so you'll be the first person I tell that to. But as of now, Tottenville Lincoln is going to be our next member-only live stream. Kicks it off to Ajani. Tries to go up the right sideline, but he is stopped by a pack of Knights. So the Tigers down 32 points. To me, is all about competing at this point. You never know what could happen. You just got to keep trying to score, keep trying to score, keep trying to chip away at this lead. It's a tough place to come in the middle of the Bronx, a JFK homecoming. But let's see if the Tigers can walk out of here with a few more points on the board. Aiden sends a man in motion. Hands it off to Emmanuel King up the right sideline. He has some space. Again, the major bright spot for Fort Hamilton has been the play of Emmanuel King III. Can't wait to see his stat line. And there is a late flag on this play. So it looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Knights. Definitely have to make sure they keep their composure. So that's going to give the Tigers some more yards. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Looks like they are on the 49, their own 49-yard line. Two to the top of your screen. Aiden hands it off to Pagan. He's going to be stopped immediately. I think that was number 0, Joshua Caldoa. Coaldo, excuse me. So after the loss of 1 yard, it's going to be 2nd and after the loss of 1 yard, after 1st and 10, it's going to be 2nd and 11. JFK flexing their muscles, showing why they've been in the 4A for so long. I don't know what the stoppage in play is, honestly. So there actually was a flag, an unsportsmanlike on the Tigers. So that's going to bring them back. Wow. That is was that a double penalty? I guess it's just 15 yards. So let's just call it 2nd and long. First down is the JFK 40-yard line. Aiden looking to throw, looks right, pumps it, still holding on to it, throws right, and that's going to be dropped by Alex Melcruz. 3rd and long. First down is the JFK 40-yard line. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Love to see Aiden Porter air it out here. Aiden is going to throw the screen, and that is going to be sniffed out immediately by Joshua Calado. I think the pronunciation is Colado, or Colado, excuse me. Working on that. So it's going to be a 4th down. Let's see if they're going to punt. Yeah, so they will be punting here. Aiden is also the punter. Aiden is an excellent athlete. He's a dual sport athlete. He's also a great baseball player. Someone in the chat, let me know what I think he plays. Excuse me. I think he plays everything from when I spoke to Coach in the summer. As Manny's going to take it, there's a flag on the play. Manny will go down immediately, but there is a flag on the play. I'm pretty sure when I spoke with Coach Perez, he told me that Aiden Porter is a pitcher. He also hits well, and he can play outfield as well. Might as well call him Shohei Ohtani. This penalty is definitely going to bring JFK backwards. It's going to be a block and a back on the Knights. 42-0 Curtis. 47-0 Lincoln. So the best of the PSAL, the traditional Giants, showing why they are the traditional Giants. Erasmus Hall with a big win. Curtis looks like they're cruising to a big win. Same thing with Lincoln. It ain't easy. It is not easy to crack into the top 4 of the PSAL. Hands it off to the up back. Still on his feet. That's Amadou. And he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, JFK. Excuse me. That is Amadou Samake getting in for his first score of the day. And you can't say they're running it up. I mean, they handed off a dive to the fullback, and he took it 60-plus yards. JFK going for 2. And they're going to punch it in. And that looks like is going to be the end of the third quarter. I think they are beginning to run the clock a bit. Our score is JFK 52, Fort Hamilton 12 in the Sage Standout Game of the Week. And I have to give a huge thanks to my guy, shot by LJ. LJ is a 32-year-old photographer and videographer with over 15 years of experience capturing powerful visuals. Known for his sharp eye and creative direction, he brings stories to life through film and photography. From sports media to creative campaigns, LJ blends skill and passion to deliver high-quality content that resonates. And especially to my members, I recommend LJ. He does all of my graphics. He's a great with photography. So whatever he needs, he's the one-stop shop. So make sure you follow him on Instagram. You tell him that Sage Media sent you. So just to go over the touchdowns. Josiah Buford with a touchdown. Emmanuel Hernandez with a touchdown. Hamadou Faseru with 2 touchdowns. Derek Betances with 2 touchdowns. And now Amadou Samake with a touchdown. So that is 7 touchdowns on the day for the Knights. Still on his feet up the right sideline. That's a great return from number 13, Andres Flores. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. So after this snap, we're going to keep the clock running because I'm pretty sure that is what the referees are doing. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Be great if they can get into the end zone. And what's interesting, they might have something going on with the second half. They also were shut out in the second half against Wagner. So let's see if they can break that trend here. Hands it off. Nice run. Ooh, big shot. Love to see that. The Knights are still hitting. And there's going to be a flag on the play, unfortunately. I know football is a physical and an emotional game, but you got to make sure you keep everything. And it's going to be a penalty on the Knights. So the Tigers are going to be in better territory. Hopefully they can get a bit closer to the end zone. As they're on the 30-yard line. Emmanuel King III already has a touchdown. He's been the star man for the Tigers. Let's see if Emmanuel King can get back into the end zone. Also be great to see just Aiden Porter get into the end zone himself on maybe a QB power. So at 1st and 10. A 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Aiden takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Nice hold, nice push from Jaden Pagan. Another player already in the end zone. Second down. Second and let's call it a 2nd and 1. Aiden's going to take it on QB power up the right. Has more than enough for the first down. Mr. Porter. It's all about a learning experience for the young junior. This is the PSAL 4A. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers. They're on just inside the 10-yard line. I personally would like to see Aiden get into the end zone. Sends a man in motion. And they are gonna it's gonna be a flag. They draw a player off sides. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line this time. Two to the top of your screen. Tight end and an up back to the right of your screen. Sends a man in motion. Aiden is going to hand it off to number 6. Great stop from the JFK defense. They want to keep it right where it is. That was number 10, Javion Simmons. I'm going to credit that to him. He got there first. Second and goal. And if you guys are still in the chat, let me know what you guys think about the new scoreboard. You know, we have some new equipment on the back end. A little more bells and whistles with the scoreboard. Let me know what you guys think. But I think we're going to use it. We use it in basketball. I think we're going to continue using it. Hands off to Pagan. Does he have enough? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Fort Hamilton. Jaden Pagan, his second touchdown on the day. Going for the two-point conversion here are the Tigers. Sends a man in motion. Aiden looking to throw. Throws it into the back of the end zone. It is tipped, but there is a flag. Yeah, Dre, I really like this new scoreboard. Hopefully, you know, there's some things I want to smooth out on the back end, but I think it's a lot easier for my workers, and I think it looks good. And I'll say this now. JFK is getting some momentum, and while we're here, let's have a little a little mini podcast. I mean, it's it's just us in here, right? Let me take a look at the rest of JFK's schedule. So JFK will move to 1-3, and they have Curtis at home, Wagner at home, Tottenville away, and then South Shore. So as they go for 2 here, going to try to throw it in, and that is good. So the 2-point conversion is good. Aiden Porter to number 6, Thomas O'Neill. Going to bring our score to 52-20. Knights are up. So listen, I say 4 wins is going to get you into the playoffs. So when I read off, Curtis and Tottenville on your schedule, you need to beat one of those teams. Not only do you need to beat one of those teams, you need to beat Susan Wagner, and then you have South Shore coming back to town to see if you can get some get back for last season. And, of course, you have to take care of Wagner, and Wagner has been having a good season themselves. So Kennedy needs to win 3 out of their last 4 to make the playoffs. And I think Fort Hamilton might get that. I think the onside kick might go to Fort Hamilton. Let's wait and see. No, it is JFK ball. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Like I said, the remaining schedule, Curtis, Wagner, Tottenville, South Shore. And in my opinion, they need to win 3 out of the 4 to get into the playoffs. Can the Knights do it? In my opinion, their best shot of the upset would probably be Tottenville. I think that's a better matchup for them. Curtis is very, very good up front. They don't mind a physical kind of ball game. So if they're going to make an upset, it has to be the Tottenville game, in my opinion. So let's focus on this one. Hands it off to number 15. And he's up the right sideline. Look at the wheels on number 15. Jason Reed Jr. Touchdown, Knights. Jason Reed Jr., class of 27. He's on the board. Yeah, Nappy, that's what I was getting into as well, man. They really, JFK really needed that Eagle game. As they're going for 2 here. Gives it right back to Mr. Reed. Why not? Weight room? No. He's going to be denied a 2-point conversion, so our score is 58-20. Sorry about the camera work there. Didn't realize how bad it. I got to tell the guys that they cannot ever have the camera look at the ground, man. That's my apologies. We'll definitely give them that feedback. So 1 play, 1 touchdown. I mean, yeah, JFK, they just have such a brutal schedule. If you think of the PowerPoints, right, and the ratings, so let's say even if you broke it up into JFK had 4 or 5 teams of a rating 12 because they're also of a rating 12. You know, they played Erasmus. They played Lincoln already, and they have to play Curtis, and they have to play Tottenville, right? So you think, okay, who are the 2 teams they have to play with a rating of 11? Eagle Academy, Brooklyn, and South Shore. I mean, it's a tough schedule. You know, but, you know, we'll see if they can make an upset to make the playoffs. And then if they fall short, Jeremiah Sanat's coming back. Amadou Samake is coming back. Some pieces on defense are coming back as well. So they're building something great here in the Bronx. Naseem, it's been that kind of day. Some weeks in the PSAL are going to be like this. You know, you can't have Tottenville E-Hall every week. Definitely learned a lot in this. Ooh, what a shot by number 17 for JFK, Elijah Benjamin. Welcome to the Sage Standout Game of the Week. Elijah Benjamin was so excited about that hit, he forgot that he got to get on the field. Hands it off. Good tackle. Is that Hamadou? No, that's number 42 for JFK. Should actually don't have a 42 on my roster, but makes the tackle there. Nappy, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, Naseem, yeah. I mean, some weeks you're just gonna have weeks like this, you know, where the quote unquote the top half of the league play in some favorable matchups. And then you have those middle tier matchups, which, you know, go this way as well. And to be honest with you, even with the scaffolding, I feel like shout out to my cameraman, they've done the best they can with the scaffolding. You know, I might be back at JFK. I might be back in Kennedy. We'll see. You're never quite sure where Sage Media is gonna pop. Well, you're sure where Sage Media is gonna pop up, but we like to add games. We like to spread some love, man. Nice to see Aiden Porter still in the game, trying to make something happen with his legs, looking to throw, and it's incomplete. Second and 10. So guys, like I said, let's see how many people we still have in the chat. Yo, honestly, we still have 12 people in the chat. It's been 13 pretty much the whole day. So appreciate everyone who's still locked in with us, even though the score is big in JFK's favor. Throws the screen. Good tackle there. Looked like that was number 20 on the tackle, Thomas Ray. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. It's really 3rd and inches. We don't have a button for that. Lincoln just went 47-8 47-8 Lincoln. Oh, that actually was enough for a first down. So it's 1st and 10. 47-8 final for the Rail Splitters over DeWitt Clinton. Was that game in the Bronx or was that game at in Coney Island? And first sack of the day. And that's going to be Mr. Eze with the sack. Oh, man, I got to tell my guys, you cannot look down. And that will be the ball game. Refs are calling it. Our final is going to be 58-20. The Knights improve to 1-3 in the league. The Tigers fall to 1-3. I really, really enjoy doing these member-only live streams. Hopefully it grows and grows and grows. You guys, I really appreciate you guys. I know you have everybody trying to get into your pocket. Disney Plus is $10. Netflix is $14. You know, Apple Music is $10. And now here comes Andre Johnson asking you for another $7. I appreciate you guys supporting everything we do. We're going to try to keep improving and keep improving. And that's mainly for the people in this chat. You guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys for tuning into this member-only live stream for the game of the week. We gave you guys 2 games this week. Erasmus Hall statement victory over Eagle Academy. Kennedy getting their first win in the PSAL. So we will be back next week. Actually, I have an interesting one next week. A non-league matchup, Eagle Academy Brooklyn versus Long Island Lutheran. So make sure you guys tune into that. This is Andre Johnson from Sage Media Solution. It's been my pleasure. We'll see you next week.